My fellow flames, welcome back to another Wuthering Waves video. My name is Amethyst, and today I am going to be discussing the new spending event. The thing that has got people divided, the thing that has got people worried, the thing that has got people talking in the Wuthering Waves and gacha community. Now, I've given it just over 24 hours. It's been about a day and a half since we got the announcement of 3.1. There's lots of stuff they announced. The new story looks interesting. Imeth and Luke look really cool. They announced loads of free stuff coming. We're getting 2 free temples, loads of different events to accumulate astrite, but the one thing that people are certainly, let's say, not impressed with is the fact that Kuro Games announced their first ever spending event for Wuthering Waves. Yes, Wuthering Waves is doing the one thing that killed HSR and the one thing that killed a lot of different Hoyoverse games because of the amount of spending events the Hoyoverse games did, specifically Honkai Star Rail. They did a lot of spending events, where to the point where the game became a whale game. You had to whale on the game to be able to get the benefits and to get the advantage while playing through the game. Now, Wuthering Waves has announced their first spending event, and I'm going to give my opinions on what I think is going on and what I think about the spending event. First and foremost, is this spending event a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both, because when you go over the actual rewards, depending on what kind of player you are, whether you're free to play, whether you're a normal spender, whether you're a new player or an old player, there's variables to this thing. But overall, I'd say I wouldn't be too worried thus far. I wouldn't be worried just yet. However, I would warrant caution, because if this spending event does well, and if this spending event sails, and if this spending event, if a lot of people participate in the spending event, then it's going to warrant Kuro Games to do a lot more of them going forward. Now, I have no doubt Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves have seen the backlash and seen what people have been saying about this spending event over the past 24-hour period. However, it doesn't mean they're not going to do another one in the future. Now, let's take a look at the actual rewards you're going to be getting within this spending event. Let's have a look. So, if you participate in this spending event, you're going to be getting 1 Lustrous Tide, a motorbike accessory, Forging Tides ×2, which is the weapon banner pulls, custom livery Singer in Deep Space, that's the Imeth livery for the bike, the 5-star weapon supply chest, synth armament, that's for the new standard banner weapons, the new 5-star standard banner weapons that came out in 3.0, a transducer, which is one of the new items. Now, I'm going to touch on this a little bit later. The selectable 5-star resonator. Now, this is something that I do indeed want to talk about. But we're also getting cosmetic sets as well. This is like a new crown, new backgrounds for your profile, etc. Now, first thing you need to take note of is Lustrous Tide is just one. We're just getting 1 free pull. We're getting 1 free limited pull for the first stage of the spending event. Then we're getting a motorbike accessory like a sticker. Then we're getting 2 weapons, limited weapon pulls. Then we're going to be getting custom livery sets, Singer in Deep Space. These rewards are very small rewards. These are near enough non-existent rewards. These are rewards that do not take a long time to get, specifically the pulls. The other stuff, if you care about Imeth and you want to be an Imeth completionist and you want everything Imeth and Imeth is your #1 character, then you're probably going to want the sticker and you're going to want the livery for your bike. Now, the standard banner weapon selector is a bit of a sticky one. This is a bit of a more difficult one to talk about, because you will inevitably get one of these 5-star weapons on the standard banner eventually. You get free standard banner pulls, and that's what the weapon banner requires. The green tides, the green tides. I think it's the not the lustrous tides. I can't remember what the other one is. But the green pulls, the green tides, the standard banner pulls. Eventually, if you want one of these 5-star weapons, you will eventually get one. It's guaranteed at this point. Eventually, you will get one. There is no missing out on those weapons. If you want one guaranteed sooner, then you are going to want to take part in the spending event. However, then this is very minor. This is a very minor reward. Like, this is something that isn't a must-have. This isn't something that you are required to have, because you have the standard banner, the standard weapon banner, where eventually you're going to get the one that you want anyway. Then you have the new item, which is the transducer. Now, this is something very interesting to me. The transducer is the substat reroller for a 5-star Echo. Now, This isn't a substat selector. It doesn't mean you can change your HP stat to a crit rate or a crit damage stat. This is just a re-roller. And the way it works is you lock the stats that you want in your substats, and the one that you want to re-roll, you leave unlocked. Then it'll re-roll again, and then it'll give you a new random stat. So there's an equal opportunity for you to get something else that's doggy doo-doo, as well as something decent. You cannot get these for free. I don't care what anyone says, because there are people out there saying you can buy it in the coral shop, in the Afterglow coral shop. Now, the Afterglow coral shop is essentially the limited coral. Not the coral that you just get just for summoning. This is the coral that you get for getting duplicates of 4-star and 5-star characters. This coral is near enough very valuable. It's one of the most valuable items you can acquire, because this will get you duplicates of 5-star characters. It'll get you pulls, whether you want to spend them on pulls or spending them on duplicates of 5-star characters. That is the only way you can get these transducers. Now, I don't know if you can get these in the battle pass for 3.1. I don't know if you can get these at this point. As far as we are aware, that is the only way you can get them, is through the coral shop or through the spending event or putting money within the game, which again entices you to put money in the game. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I don't care what people say. People say, but they're in the coral shop. Yeah, but a lot of people don't want to spend their coral on something as meaningless as a re-roller. Not a selector, a re-roller. People want to spend them on pulls, and they'll want to spend it on duplicates for their 5-star units, to whether they want S1, S2, etc. Then we have the big one of this. The big one of this spending event. The 5-star selector. Now, this is where it's going to be very interesting, because if you are a player since day one, like myself, you've played the game since launch, then you're most likely going to have 1, 2, or maybe even all 3 of these characters. Jinshi was from 1.1, Shorekeeper was from 1.3, and then Camellia was 1.4. You also do get a transducer with this as well. As you can see right here, there is a small transducer next to Camellia on the bottom right of Camellia. Now, most of us day one players, because of the amount of reruns there have been, most likely have 1, 2, or all 3 of these units. If you're a newer player, Shorekeeper is a very good unit for you to acquire if you don't already have Shorekeeper. However, Mornier at S1 is better than Shorekeeper. Jinshi, still a decent DPS unit. A decent DPS unit. But most of the DPSs in 2.x and going into 3.0 are better than Jinshi. Miles better than Jinshi. Most of the 2.x DPS units are way better than Jinshi. Now, if you just like the look of Jinshi and you don't have Jinshi, then go ahead, put money on this spending event and get Jinshi. I don't recommend it. And Camellia, well, I don't like Camellia. I'm biased. I really don't like this unit. I think this unit is quite frankly doggy doo-doo. Is she decent in the meta? Yes. Do people recommend her for TOA, early stages of TOA? Yes. I don't like her. I don't really play the end game much. I play casually. I play the events that are released. I play the story. I occasionally play the holograms. That's the only end game content I play, is the holograms. And occasionally I'll dive into the TOA, but I won't complete the TOA. These units are very outdated, except for Shorekeeper, who is near enough in date. But now Mornier's come out, and if you have Mornier at S1, Shorekeeper isn't as good as S1 Mornier. And I know a lot of people that summoned for Mornier. And if you are a newer player that started at 3.0, or at least at the back end of 2.x, you probably summoned for Mornier. And got Mornier. If you haven't, then you most likely probably will get Mornier. And Mornier is going to be an indirect supporting unit for Imeth. Now, Shorekeeper is always going to be a good universal character for you to have. A good universal character for you to have. Absolutely, always will be. She's always going to be viable. We now have 2 S-tier support units. Mornier at S1, and then Shorekeeper. If you don't have Mornier S1, then Shorekeeper's still the best. But again, this goes back to the coral. If you saved up your coral and you found out Mornier was the best like supporting unit at S1, then you probably use your coral to get a duplicate of Mornier, or you got pulls to get another Mornier, whatever. This is like okay, it's decent, it's not the best. Then we have customization cosmetic sets. This is just simply a crown, an icon, a sticker, and a couple other bits for your resonator and for your profile. Now, here's how the whole thing works. You need to put money, real money, into the game and spend items in the game to get these other currency called the moonlit rings. The moonlit rings are the things that's going to get you across the path to complete this moonlit thing, right? So this is the Lunite equivalent. 60 Lunites get you 6 moonlit rings. 300 Lunites get you 30 moonlit rings. 980 Lunites is 98 moonlit rings. 1980 Lunite is 198 moonlit rings. 3280 Lunite is 328 moonlit rings. And 6480 Lunite is 648 moonlit rings. Now, I believe all of the equivalence is here. How to obtain moonlight rings. Okay, Lunite subscription, 30 moonlit rings, weekly subscription. Oh yeah, there's a new weekly subscription now. That's another thing, a new weekly subscription. Yup, there's a new weekly subscription. Truth Seekers Radiant Collection 1. So these are all like the packs. Like these are all the packs, right? Now, the calculations to completing the spending event, you need to buy, based on what I've seen people say, 2 $100 packs and 1 $40 or $50 packs, which is about $250. Essentially, you're going to need to purchase 2 of the big boys regardless, and maybe a couple of the bundles, but essentially it's about $250 worth of stuff. That's what they're pricing this moonlit path up as, $250 to accumulate all of this. Is that worth it? Not really, no. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not really worth it. If you are not a spender and strictly free to play or free to play plus, where you only get the battle pass login pass, this is not going to be worth your time at all. If you are a natural spender and you've been spending in the game naturally over the past few months to years, similar to what I've been doing, then you're naturally most likely going to complete most of this, if not all of it. But the question isn't whether you're a free-to-play player or a natural spender, whether you're a dolphin, a whale, or a little fish, big fish, cardboard box, whatever the goddamn hell you are. The things that people are worried about is, are they going to do more of these? Now, I've seen other content creators like Sentontas talk about this, and he's actually said the reason why Kuro Games are most likely doing this is because HSR, Genshin Impact, ZZZ, all these other Hoyoverse and gacha games that have done spending events have earned a lot of money from the spending events. So from a business standpoint, it's a good thing for Kuro. But for the player standpoint, it's not a good thing. Now, this is the first one they've done. And the difference between the HSR spending event and the Kuro spending event, now correct me down below in the comments if I'm wrong, this is not required of you. This isn't meta-defining, meta-breaking, and I believe the HSR one specifically got to the point where if you wasn't participating in the spending events, you were kind of left in the dust, and you kind of weren't gonna reap the rewards and the benefits of the game. Essentially, like you were going to be at a significant disadvantage. Based on what I've seen over the past couple of years for HSR, I haven't played HSR for a good couple of years. I haven't played Genshin Impact for almost 6 years, and I haven't played ZZZ since launch. Since Jane Doe came out, which was near enough since launch. So this one isn't something you are required to put money in the game for, because none of these units are meta-defining except for Shorekeeper. And even then, most people have probably got Mornier or other supporting units that are still getting them through the game. So this isn't a spending event where it's like, if you don't participate, you're gonna miss out. No. However, it's still worrisome because it means they could do more. They could do a lot more. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people are worried about. It's not a good thing because, one, the things that you're putting money in the game for aren't really worth $250. And two, if this is successful, which it most likely will be, because a lot of people are going to put money in the game to get Imuth, which means naturally they're going to complete this spending event. And based on the data and the data that Kuro Games are going to see from that is, it's going to entice them to do more. Now, whether or not they're going to do non-meta defining ones like this, or whether they're going to move to 2.x and add units from 2.x is a different story. If I was to improve this spending event for $250, if it was still at the similar price tag as $250, I would probably have Shorekeeper on there, and then I would have 2 units from 2.x. I would probably have, now this is my opinion, if I was in charge of the spending event, I would have Shorekeeper, Carlotta, and Carthea. Those would be the 3 units I would have on this little selector here. Because in my experience and based on what I've seen, those are 3 of the most popular and overpowered characters in the game. Carlotta changed the EPS meta when she came out. Shorekeeper to this day is still very, very useful. And Carthea is one of the best EPSs of all time if you have Chiacona or Aero Rover. Heck, you can use Carthea with Aero Rover, who is for free, and Shorekeeper if you already have her. So Carthea would have been a very good thing for this thing. If it was still the same amount of money, like $200 to $250, that's what you're getting. That would have made it a lot more worth it. Now I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying it would have made it a lot more worth it, in my opinion. Carlotta, Shorekeeper, and Carthea. But I think the problem is this is worrying a lot of people for the future of the game, because if this is successful and it flags up on Kuro's radar saying a lot of people participated in this, which Imeth buyers and Imeth people putting in money to get her naturally will participate in this, it's going to flag on their radar and they're going to think it's a success, even though people are pushing against it. Now, I did a poll on my YouTube. I can actually get this up for you. I did a poll on my YouTube and I actually asked my audience, what do they think of the spending event? Is it good? Is it bad? Or do you not really care? 625 votes, 8% good, 16% bad, 76% not bothered. And a lot of the comments are, they're not really bothered. They're not really bothered. There's a couple of comments that are a bit worried again for the future and a bit worried about the spending event. But people don't care. Genuinely, people do not care. So, whether you like it or hate it, this is the way it is now. Whether Kuro continue to do them, I don't know. Am I worried? Yes. I don't want them to go down the Honkai Star Rail route, where it becomes near enough meta for you to put money in the game in order for you to get the benefits of the game, if that makes sense. But this is my personal opinion. This is everything that I have to say about it. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. And let me know down below in the comments if you think it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, if you're sort of up in the air about it. Let me know down below in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. But I just wanted to talk about it because it's something that's been on a lot of people's radar in the gacha space, in the Wuthering Waves space, and Kuro game space. Whether people are worried, not worried, whether people are going to do it, not do it. People that are summoning and spending for Imeth are most likely, by default, going to be participating in this thing. Whether you are intending to specifically participate in Moonlit Path or not, you put money in the game for Imeth or Luke, it's going to count towards the bloody thing. So yeah, that's the way it is. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you are new. I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy and have a good rest of your day.